Hello.
Yo.
Yeah, I am just right now. I'm also trying to get another runner of this game in here to come get commentary, and he's having a little trouble with Mumble. If one of you guys could help him out, that would be really.
Yeah, who am I talking to?
I don't know actually how you're gonna talk to him. I'm just talking to him on Steam. He basically.
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Can he
no,
get on SRL?
Yeah, I'll have him do that. Yes.
Streaming with Mumble.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
And then I guess have him PM me, or I can PM him.
Yeah. Just gotta get back.
Alright, well, while we're trying to get our commentator on in here, we are the JRTA Marathon, and it is a fundraising marathon to bring in some dollars and assistance for a couple of our Japanese friends, Cord and Ohon, and we're bringing them into AGDQ for January there. Our goal amount is $4,500, so we're already a third of the way there. Thank you so much for your generosity. It's been crazy thus far. Please, if you can, help spread the word. Tweet it out, post it Facebook, go on MySpace, use your Friendster. Make sure to set off everybody's beeper at the hospital. Yeah, whatever you can would be great. I didn't mention host the channel through Twitch. Please do that as well. Every time the restream goes down, which it did a little while ago, your host is gone, so you need to rehost after that point if you'd like to. So whatever you guys can do would be truly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching so far. I hope you guys are all enjoying it, and hopefully we'll have Cloudbuilt for you here any second.
Yeah, he's just having trouble with stuff, so I'm just gonna go on without him. Guess I'll do commentary myself as much as I can.
Seems like we need the game up just a touch.
Game up? Okay.
Yeah, game volume.
Sure.
I mean, if you can get onto SRL and get in contact with me somehow.
He couldn't connect to SRL either, I don't know what's going on.
What? Okay. I mean, speedrunslive.com is down right now.
I don't know what's going on with him.
That's all good.
Okay, raise the volume. Can someone confirm if that's good or not? I can go a little higher. That's not.
Also, we can hear your Steam notifications as well.
Oh, how do you turn that off?
I have no idea. I've never even installed Steam before.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't think anyone else should be messaging. Yeah, I don't think you've ever played a game, what, past 2000? Maybe before? Like 90?
There's a couple, but usually the year is 1998, yeah.
guess I'm good to go whenever I get confirmation that the audio's good and stuff.
Checking on that real quick, and then I will give you the okay.
Alright.
Alright, yeah, you can count down whenever you're ready to go.
Alright, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so this is Cloudbuilt. It's like kinda like a parkour game, except you have jetpack. See, in this first level I don't have it yet. This is kind of the intro level, teaching you, how to play the game. Teach you how to run on walls. I don't really listen. I'm just gonna jump on the top of a building and kind of skip most of it. It's a pretty short level. It's surprisingly difficult though. It's pretty easy to lose, a lot of time on. But the game starts getting really interesting on this second level. So as you see, now I have a jetpack. If you look at the bottom of the screen, I have a boost bar. I can either use that boost in a couple ways. I can either use it for horizontal boost, or I can jump vertically with it. And as you see right there, that's a lot more height than you should get playing casually on a amount of boost I used. So what I did was I shoot the ground, giving me some vertical momentum, and then I do what's called a boost jump. So I can boost, and then a frame later, jump. And what that does is it pretty much just amplifies everything. It's kind of how this game works, is the more vertical momentum you can just stack at one point, it kind of all amplifies together and gives you incredible vertical height. And aside from that, the game is just fast-paced in general. Just using the boost as the developers intended is incredibly quick, which is why I think this is a really, really good speed game. So right there, as you see, I got an insane amount of height, and that's pretty much the other type of tech. You have two types of things. You can just normally running on the ground, you can start with a jump, and then shoot the ground and do some boost jumps, which will give you a moderate amount of height, but it's usually way quick to set up. Or you can do what I did in the previous level. It's called a corner jump. Basically, if you look, I can pre-charge my jetpack and not use any boost and get a free boost out of it. And so, people have figured out that, oh hey, let's use that for something. Another thing that they found out is the corners in this game, on basically any platform, are not exactly square. They're kind of rounded a little bit. So if you can get on an edge and then do your charge boost thing and then shoot the ground and do your boost jumps, you can get insane height because you're on the rounded edge, so your initial boost is going to go up instead of horizontally like it normally would. And so those are kind of basically the ways you sequence break basically every level in the game. A lot of these levels were not meant to have you getting so much vertical height as you can. So as you see, a lot of these levels, I'm just jumping from one section to a completely different section. It saves a lot of time. So yeah.
I was just gonna ask a quick question. You're playing on keyboard or controller?
This is not a game you could ever play on a controller in any,
it doesn't even have
any way, shape,
support
or
for
form. You can. I wouldn't advise it.
Oh, okay.
Just with any shooter or third-person, first-person shooter with camera control, you probably should be playing it with a mouse, so you can actually aim. Yeah, this game is really technical though. So every time I do one of these jumps, I'm basically giving the inputs of jump as soon as I can after that, so possibly a frame later, let go of shoot, and then boost jump, which is shift space. So it's shift. Yeah, let's see. So it's space bar, let go of left click, shift space, all within, you know, a very, very small amount of time. And if any of those are really off, then you go absolutely nowhere. But the nice thing is you use it so many places that you get very, very good at the input very quickly. So it is a very technical game.
I want to say the last time I watched you stream, there was a couple of early levels that had some tricks that taken quite a few tries and you just nailed them all first try.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going pretty well. I'm practicing a lot this game lately. It's just, you know, every jump is pretty tight, and so any slight mess up on an input means you're dead and you've lost 30 seconds or more. But as long as you're playing well, you'll get the height you need. So that's a harder one right there. I think that one looks really great whenever I get it. It saves quite a bit of time. There's really not too much to say because, you know, every level you're doing the same tech, just applied differently. Yeah, a lot of these levels are from the initial game release, so they've done a couple of content expansions and stuff for this game, and they've slowly learned, you know, what speedrunners can do, and they've tried to combat it as best as possible. So these are kind of the first levels you'll be seeing that they did very early, and are very, very easy to sequence break, which is why they're all so short. But later on, they introduced a couple kinds of DLC that are going to be much, much longer and much more difficult. Specifically, the Defiance DLC is basically full of just very, very difficult long levels that are much, much harder to sequence break than these, even though obviously we still managed to do it.
Take that, devs.
It's funny, yeah, the latest bit of tech, which is the corner boosting, was I think about 9 months ago, and I know one of the speedrunners had actually helped the devs out trying to break the Defiance levels, and he got to a point where he thought they were pretty, you know, secure, hard to sequence break, and then they came out with this tech where you can get just the most insane height on a jump. It just broke everything again. Yeah, so that death right there, unfortunate. If you do not charge your jetpack exactly enough when you're doing that pre-boost, you actually lose a little bit of boost. So I didn't have enough boost for my last boost jump. I only got the boost part of it. So it's kind of a trade-off. It's pretty hard to actually tell when you're going to get the full boost versus the kind of half, I call it. Because as you look, the jetpack is the only like cues you have are the noise it makes and like kind of like the visuals of how much like jet is coming out of the jetpack. So that's something that's pretty hard to optimize. Am I having stream problems?
Like every couple minutes, Mumble gets a little staticky. I'm guessing that's...
Mumble does, but the stream's fine.
I'm not sure. For me, it's been fine.
Okay.
But
Yeah, every once in a while I have a little bit of problems trying to stream this game. It's pretty unfortunate. I don't really know what to do about it. But this game gets pretty unwatchable if you turn the settings way down. So I try to keep the bitrate high and stuff. And it's not like a bitrate problem usually, because you know, it's fine most of the time, just dropping internet. So this is a remix level. When you're playing this game casually, you're trying to reach 4 endings, and there's a bunch of just like side levels, which is what this category is. I guess I didn't talk about the category. So what I'm running right now is, it's called Full Game Defiance Rush Mode, and what Rush Mode is it's a speedrunning category that, or a speedrunning mode, I guess I should say, that one of the devs put in. And it's a really cool what they did, because they did talk with so many speedrunners. It's implemented very, very well. It's basically just chaining all of the levels together one by one without the little downtime of going back and doing story stuff. And it uses basically RTA minus loading times, which is, in my opinion, the optimal thing you can have for PC speedrunning. It runs the timer all the time. If you pause the game, it keeps running the timer. It just cuts out loading times. And so, yeah, what I was getting at is, all of these levels right now are basically we call it original 22, which are the original 22 levels that required to get the first 4 endings. And what I'm running is Full Game Defiance, which is every single level in the whole game, DLC or not. And in my opinion, the best category. It's really long, it's got all of the fun levels.
Probably don't have the chance, but if you do, kick up that mic just a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure. After this level. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. So, yeah, I think this game looks really nice, but just visually looking at this, it's pretty hard to get an idea of exactly how fast the inputs that I'm doing are required to do every single one of these jumps, just because I do it so often. That's why input displays are actually really cool for this game. Most of the people that run this, which is like Collyfin and Wobbs23, use input displays when they're streaming. And it really, really helps reinforce like just how fast the inputs are and how technical this game is. Also, this is the first of the Defiance levels that I will be playing, and these start getting much, much more difficult than the previous levels, much longer. When the other levels, you know, are maybe 20 to 30 seconds, this one's going to be a minute and a half, if not 2. And obviously much more dangerous. You can see these red mines are just everywhere. You got stuff shooting at you left and right. Okay, that was a pretty hard jump right there, and then I gotta go up here. Okay. Whew. That's a pretty scary section. And if you notice, I lose a lot of time if I die. I guess I didn't mention this, but in the bottom right corner you can see a like an item there. And what that is, it's actually a placeable checkpoint, which is a really cool thing about this game. There's 2 types of checkpoints. There's the one that are just kind of on the ground. There's a flag sitting on the ground. You touch it, you die, you go back there. And then there's the placeable ones, which are collectible on the level. So if you see a little orange like light, if I collect that, I pretty much get a free checkpoint that I can use anywhere. And you start with one on every level. As you see, I've used 2 this level, so that means I picked one up earlier. And I placed these on the Defiance levels just because they are so long and dying is so costly, even though I shouldn't be dying. Oh, oh. Oh, that's really dumb. So, yeah, those things can get you. Those purple things are basically just enemies you need to shoot and not touch. I missed up the section a little bit. And that section's actually really, really hard to recover anything from. Whew! Alright. Yeah, this is, in my opinion, the hardest level in the game, even though it is the first Defiance level they're making us play. I have a lot of trouble with this level. Is the mic volume better, by the way? Okay, out of there. So I talked about the Defiance DLC, and this is another one of the DLCs. This is called the Fog DLC levels. So you see, you've already seen a couple levels with this tile set and this music. These are all Fog levels. They're free DLC that they released, and I really, really like these levels, which is why I think this category is so good. I think they're just a lot of fun. They're kind of designed to not have any enemies or anything, and you're just kind of wandering around, you know, differently spaced platforms, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, if I can squeeze in a little quick plug, maybe?
Sure.
Coming up super soon is new Luigi Brothers U. And I believe there is an incentive to beat the game without using Nabbit. At the moment, it's got $0 and it needs 100 to happen. So if you guys want to see that happen in new Super Luigi U, get on that. Thank you so much for your donation so far as well.
Alright, so this is the this is the second Defiance level we'll be seeing. This is Desperation. This one is I think the shortest Defiance level. It's still very difficult. If you look at these green orbs, if I touch one of them, it will send me flying and most likely kill me. And they are just absolutely everywhere in this level. So those can be very dangerous. It's just really easy level to die. You always find a different orb to kill you every day. And so as you see, basically every sequence break on these Defiance levels is going to take use of the corner jump, because they did do so well with guarding against the tech they knew about at the time, which was just the normal charge boost jump. That's good. So this is actually going really well. I lost a little bit of time on Desire, the first Defiance level. But other than that, this is going pretty smooth. It's just really easy to fall apart and die in this game. So as long as you're not dying, even if you're going slow, you're doing pretty well. Oh. So right there you saw I started charging up, and you can actually drop a checkpoint while you're charging your pre-boost, which is really nice because dropping a checkpoint does lose a little time, but if you're already sitting there charging your boost anyway, it's pretty negligible. And so for a hard jump like that right there, it's definitely worth doing. And as you see, I died, so it was 100% worth doing. Alright, so that was a pretty hard jump. Went pretty well though. Uh-oh. So we're kind of getting back into the later of the original 22 levels. So as you see, I'm back to hard sequence breaking in 20-second levels. It's not to say these levels are easy or anything, they're just kind of different. You kind of, in this category, the way they've spaced the levels out, it's pretty cool. They just kind of, I don't exactly know what they did, but yeah, it's not strictly in order of difficulty, which is kind of nice. Gives you some breathers sometimes. So this is a level I like a lot. It's just kind of, it's got your standard charge, boost, jump tech, and a lot of just boosting around. I think it's a pretty fun level. Oh. Yeah. Sometimes I'm not sure if I should reset or not, and I just kind of do it. I didn't get the height I needed on that jump, so I could kind of fall down and fumble around in this area and die. Like just kind of start over. Alright, so this is Expectations. This is the probably more difficult than Desire. I don't know. There are 3 levels that are very difficult in this game. Desire, that first Defiance level we saw, this level, and then the last level in the game, Chains. This one is so difficult because I'll be using a very, very large sequence break, and it's pretty hard to do. So we'll see how that goes. Let's do it. Alright, good. So, you gotta land on some fences. These things have really, really tiny hitboxes. And I'm basically using both my checkpoints right here. So that I only have to make each jump one time. So, hard part of the level's over, for the most part. Level's still really hard. That's the really, really tricky part. So that went actually really well. Pretty happy with that.
Nice.
If you look at this ground that's kind of red and stuff, I should explain this. It pretty much drains your boost. So as long as you're touching it, your boost gets drained and it doesn't charge back up. So we abuse the fence because it's not the red tile anymore, so you can actually get your boost and do the charge stuff. And at the very end there, you're supposed to kind of do a long series of events to go get some boost and then fly up to the end like that. And we kept the boost from that wall that I was running on and flew up to the end. And what happened right there is, if you saw the green boost panel, those kind of just bump you in a direction. And as I said, the more you can amplify already existing vertical momentum, the more you get out of it. So if you jump immediately after touching any green panel in this game, you will go extremely high. And it's probably the biggest way that we sequence break most of the Defiance levels. That was also something they did not know about when they made the levels, I believe. So this is Battle Challenge 1. This is actually a very recent update. I believe, what was it, maybe a month or two ago? They actually kept releasing content for this game. These levels are like remixes of some of the previous levels, except with enemies absolutely everywhere. As you see, I'm getting followed by stuff, shooting stuff, and yeah. These levels are some of the most difficult levels in the game to go fast on. They're just, this level is even really hard casually. There's just enemies absolutely everywhere getting killed. So when I get one of these red lines on me, these are like little homing laser turrets. They kind of charge up and then they like zap you. And as soon as the line actually turns white, you have a little bit of a window, and you can boost your way out of the laser, as you saw right there. So that's just a fun little way you can dodge those enemies. That's pretty useful in both these levels and some of the Defiance levels. Also, I didn't say anything about it earlier, but I think the soundtrack for this game is just absolutely phenomenal. I don't know if you've been able to hear it too much over me talking, but I really like a lot of the tracks in this game. Specifically, the track for the very last level, Chains. I think that's a really wonderful one. Oops, that didn't drop. Oh well. I like to drop a checkpoint there just for a little bit of safety, but it's probably not necessary. Kind of have to charge your boost up anyway too. So this is one of my two favorite levels in the game. Like I said, I really like the fog levels because I don't like enemies. I don't want stuff hitting me around. And what they did was, as you see, there's the remixed levels from before. There's also fog remixes and a Defiance remix. This is the first of the fog remixes, and it's just a pretty long level. This is one of the longest non-Defiance levels in the game. It's just really enjoyable to play. Just jumping from block to block. Alright, so this is the remixed Defiance level. Kind of just takes a little bit of elements from each of the Defiance levels, throws it all into one. This level is, I think, the second shortest. It's still pretty difficult though. This level has one of the tightest jumps in the whole run that I currently do. You kind of have to weave around a saw blade. So the way they kind of tried to stop you from doing what you do is see this saw blade right here that blocks that path. Those are kind of everywhere, but if you go high enough and far enough, you can go around them. Pretty bad jump. It's kind of annoying. Once you drop a checkpoint and then die, your checkpoint's actually over the visual cue that I use to line those jumps up. Those are actually really precise. I use my right foot and how much it sticks off the edge. And so when that checkpoint's there, it makes it actually pretty hard to see things. Which is actually true for a lot of these corners. If you look, like these blocks right here have a pretty a hitbox that matches their visual box really well. But a lot of like the platforms and stuff have assets that cover. Oh my god, I hit the spike. Yeah. Oh well. Like I said, dying is very costly. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna. You can actually there's a little bit of tech in this game. You can grab a wall, use your gun to hold yourself on that wall, and basically climb a wall without boost. And you can do that to save yourself there. It's debatably worth it, depending on where you are. Okay. Yeah, this level is really, really punishing. You just lose so much time when you die in this game. You can die so easily. Like, as you saw, I just barely clipped the top of a set of spikes, and then all of a sudden, oops, I'm dead. So let's try that again. We're just gonna go back. All right, let's try that again. All right, that's a little better. Whew, I grazed that mine right there. The end of this level was really, really hard casually. You couldn't see it, but there were pretty much the seeker missiles behind me the entire time for that last section. I'm going fast enough that they don't catch me, but if you don't kind of do it exactly perfect, and you have to like turn around for any reason, they will catch up, and it just becomes the biggest mess. Oops. I didn't get enough height on that. So this is where I've used these boost panels pretty well. Skipped a giant chunk of the level. Yeah, those yellow panels that you just saw, those are pretty cool panels. You've seen them before, but they were new in the Defiance DLC. And what they do is they don't take boost when you walk on them. Oh, when you boost on the wall. Whew! Okay, I didn't have any boost there. I'm pretty amazed I didn't die. Yeah, if you see a level that looks all dark and scary, and I probably die, it's a Defiance level. Oh, please no. Alright. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah, it's just so easy to die because you miss a single shot on one of these purple things. You really don't have enough time to charge back up to your blue charge, and if you don't have the blue charge, your shot basically does nothing to anything. Has no area on the hit. And unless you can stall or recover or something, it's just death. Oh, yeah. There's a top route right there that's very, very hard to make. So this level right here is actually a pretty cool level. It was designed by a speedrunner of this game, actually, Cloudbuilt, who is the top runner in this game, and it is actually put into the game. There is user-created content for this game, which is really cool, so you can play user levels and stuff, but this is kind of the first one they ever made when they were testing out the builder and stuff, and so for the good work he did, they actually put the level in the game instead of just leaving it as a custom level, which is really cool. So we got the other Fog Remix level. I also really like this level. So this right here is probably the hardest jump in the run. Either this one or the one on that you have to go around the saw blade you saw. That actually went really well. I got a ton of height on that jump, which means my inputs were very, very clean. One input, one frame after another. That's basically the optimal case for most jumps, is do everything one frame after each other, except the shot, which should be delayed by, I think it's 3 or 4 frames or something. Because if you think about it, you need to be going forward a little bit and then shoot under yourself so that you don't get shot backwards. You get a little less distance and I think a little less height if you shoot too fast. I'm gonna try that again. I try to keep the RTA strats so that I never need a really, really good jump to make anything, because that would just be death everywhere. I just want the boost. Hello? Okay. This level is really, really hard to do quickly. It's just really, really precise. What am I doing? Where am I? I've never been down there before. Okay. So this is, yeah, I'm supposed to go to the right there, but I kind of missed. So there's a little bit of the climbing tech. It's really, really, really helpful when you need to save yourself. Being able to climb a wall with no boost is just incredible. I guess I'll bring something else up. So, I've done this before, but I didn't say anything about it. Normally when I do the pre-charging, it's on a corner. You can actually just do it on a slanted platform and get insane height, just like you would a corner. I mean, all you need is your horizontal boost to go upward. So any horizontal platform or corner will do it for you, which is why I got so much height on that one right there. This is a pretty tight jump, so I have to get my position really accurate. Basically, I didn't charge it long enough. I didn't get my boost jump at the end. There's a couple factors that go into how good your jump is. Basically, the timings on your inputs and how well you're positioned on the ledge. Basically, the further away from the platform you can get, the higher and further you will go. Also, if you look right there, I grabbed the checkpoint and just instantly hit restart checkpoint. Because of how the timing method works, it's just RTA minus loading times. You can use that to get your entire boost bar back without losing any time. So it's a really neat trick that you can use. I'm going to do it again right here. You always start with full boost, which is why it's so great. Oh my god, I got hit. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Those little turrets are just nasty. They're not necessarily random, but the way their aim is calculated is pretty cool. They actually take your velocity into account when they aim at you and shoot. So if you get hit, it's not RNG at all. It's just impossible to predict, at least for me. So this is the last level. This is Chains. I don't think it's necessarily the hardest level, but it for sure is the longest and most punishing. It's at least double the length of every other level in this game. It's got a really good song. The problem is the song only gets good after like 3 minutes. So I gotta hear it right as you're beating the level, which is pretty great. I'm gonna try to focus on this level a bunch. It's just you can lose up to, you know, a minute and a half really easily on this level. Yeah, the time before you hit first checkpoint is really long. Okay, that's good. I feel pretty safe once I place that checkpoint, even though the level's just warming up. Oh! Whew. Okay. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make that or not. Nope, okay. Oh, please no. Okay. That's really unfortunate. So, I got a little greedy. I didn't wait for my boost to refill. And, I had to go back down, and when you go back down, that turret shoots you. This level, like I said, will punish you for anything. That's what you get for trying to save a couple frames. No, I'm sick of you, turret. Alright, so I'm gonna wait for my whole boost.
I was gonna leave you alone, but you know, you just had to go and...
Oh, okay. Woo! Yeah, those rolling things are grenades. They will blow you up. Alright. Feeling safe again, I just placed a checkpoint. So as you see right there, I did the dodge. Crap. That's not good. Okay. This level is just so scary. Every section of this level is really difficult. Really punishing. So that level is actually kind of cool, or that part, because it's actually designed for you to hit the green orbs, which you don't usually get to do. So this is the last jump in the game. It's pretty cool because you have to shoot this, then shoot the wall. Yep, okay. So my shot went through the mesh instead of hitting it. I need the shot to hit the mesh to slow me down. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, okay. Let's try that again. Alright, that's time.
Yo, GG.
Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. I think this is a really great game, a really great speed game. I hope you guys are enjoying this marathon. Hope you're donating. Ohan and Bacord are two really great runners. It's always great to see Japanese runners interacting with the English-speaking community.
For sure, for sure. So your real time was 43:28.
Okay. Yeah. A couple of my deaths were really costly. As you see, there's a lot of time that can come off. It's just so difficult to get something together where you're not dying a lot.
It was a great run.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy enough. And just a shout out to the developers of this game. Coilworks have been really good to the community. They've been, two of the developers, the game designers, are very open with a lot of the community. Just talk with them all the time. This speedrun mode, this rush mode, is actually done pretty recently, a month or two ago, in one of the developers' free time. Just some weekend he spent and coded it up. So really big shout outs to those guys. They've just been great.
Definitely. So let's see here. I think up next we have Duckfist with Dragon Scroll. I'm not gonna even try the Japanese until he pops up. And thank everybody for having me. Once again, we are JRTA Marathon, and this is a fundraiser for Bacord and Ohon, which are some of our Japanese friends. They can come over to AGDQ and play some games for us. Already got some games in, they've got some games waitlisted, so we'd really like to see them, and we're really thankful for everybody's generosity so far. We're already 1/3 of the way to our goal, and I don't think the marathon is